Hey, folks, I'm coming to you again today. Uh, no, not to prove that I'm still inside, but because we've got another piece of time sensitive information that I think everybody needs to be aware of. Right. We have been talking for some time about the idea that has been floating around to move Pennsylvania to a system of open primaries. So a bill has now been introduced into the Pennsylvania Senate Bill 400. And this bill would open primaries, party primaries, to folks who are not part of the party. So the bill has been introduced, it has been referred to committee, and the chairman of the committee that's got the bill at this point is Chris Dush. There are, according to the best information I have right now, 4 Republican senators at a minimum who are pushing this. One of them is one of the co-sponsors of the bill, Laughlin, who is from up in the Erie area. The other one is Penny Suick. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I will admit that. Pennycuick from Berks and Montgomery. Also Stefano from Fayette, Westmoreland, Somerset, Bedford, and Bartolotta from Beaver, Greene, and Washington counties. So this appears to be a whole set of senators from the western part of the state. These are the Republicans in support of the bill. Understand the point of this bill. This bill is intended to kill the Patriot movement, the Maga movement, kill the America First movement in the state of Pennsylvania. It has been discussed for some considerable period of time, and the folks who have talked about it and been pushing this idea have been very clear that, particularly in the aftermath of Doug Mastriano's campaign for governor, that they believe the extremists in the GOP have too much power. If you don't know who the extremists are, go find a mirror in your house, look in the mirror. You will have found at least one of the extremists. Okay, this is you. You have too much power. They don't ever want to have a repeat of a situation in which a candidate is actually chosen by the majority of the voters in the party. Their intention is to never allow that democratic process to work again. And therefore, in order to prevent that, to ever prevent you from again choosing the person you want to be the candidate, they are going to import into the GOP process a whole boatload of independents, unaffiliated folks who are not Republicans are going to be brought into the process, the primary process, to choose the candidate for the Republican Party. And they are very clear. Again, I cannot emphasize this enough. They understand precisely what they are doing, and they are doing this with this clear intention to so dilute the power of the Patriot movement, the MAGA movement, the America First movement, whatever the heck you want to call it, to so dilute its power as to effectively neuter it politically in the state of Pennsylvania, so that you can never pose a challenge to the establishment again. This thing is already introduced, Senate Bill 400. It is a reality. It is sitting in committee right now. Senator Chris Dush is chairing that committee. Now, I'm going to remind you of this. He frequently says things that sound very positive, and like he's on our side. One of those things was that he was going to investigate the results of the 2020 election. Unless I missed something, that investigation never happened, was never completed, and we never saw any results. So, verbiage is interesting. As I keep saying, all we really care about is action. Everybody watching this needs to be sounding an alarm and need to be contacting everybody in every group they are a member of or in contact with. And everybody needs to be firing up the phone lines and email and talking to their senators and killing this thing. Particularly if you happen to be a constituent of Senators Laughlin, Pennysuik, Stefano, Bartolotta, you need to fire them up. I got to believe that out in Fayette County and Greene County and all these places that there are a whole lot of GOP voters that have not one blessed clue that their senator is getting ready to sell them out. Talk to you soon.